Ago, Governor Ron DeSantis talked about these power outages across the state and specifically said there are people working to restore power along the Treasure Coast right now.
17,000 linemen staged to immediately begin power restoration efforts as soon as it's safe to do so. And certainly as you get into places like the Martin, St. Lucie area, people have been working in those areas and will continue to go in as it's safe in other parts of the state.
The governor also saying that there are search and rescue teams on standby in case they are needed. And we know our beaches took a beating and some roads are underwater. Let's begin our live coverage this afternoon with Steve King at Bathtub Beach in Martin County. And Steve, people are getting their first look at what Nicole did to the coast.
Tiffany, and county leaders say that Bathtub Beach, for the most part, is completely gone. I mean, you can see that there's not much distance between the dune here to the ocean. And this is high tide right now, but you can see this strong downward slant into the ocean. This looks a lot different from earlier this year. Let's take a look at what the beach looked like just a while ago. I mean, you could see that there was much more distance between the dunes and the ocean. Also, there was an even level. There wasn't this giant slant that we're seeing now. But right now what we're looking at is some excavators, that are dumping some sand, trying to shore up the dunes here along Bathtub Beach in an effort to protect MacArthur Boulevard. Now, last night these dunes held up for the most part, but there were some breaches in certain areas. All in all, the county dumped about 700 tons of sand in an effort to try to shore up these dunes. But as those waves came crashing in, they did damage a few homes here on Hutchinson Island. We saw one home where the waves continued to get very close to the pillars supporting it. That home is still holding up as of now. We also saw another home where the floor of the garage was washed completely out. Other than that, we saw damaged fences and several other damaged garages as well. Now, with all of this damage, though, the county does confirm that nobody was hurt in all of this. But again, these restoration efforts are just getting underway right now. In some places, the roads are impassable, including MacArthur Boulevard and parts of Indian River Drive. And crews say that they're working on some temporary repairs, which they're trying to complete as soon as possible. Reporting live from Hutchinson Island in Martin County, Steve King, WPBF 25 News.
All right, Steve, thank you. We're going to stay in Martin County because officials there just gave an update on their storm response. Caleb Califano continues our team coverage. He is also live in Martin County this afternoon. Caleb?
Yeah, and officials say while they are making improvements to both damaged roads and power outages, there is still a long way to go. Here's what they just had to say.
Again, pre and post Hurricane Ian assessments of our beaches with state and federal agencies are ongoing. We'll still be finding areas of damage, parks. I've seen some erosion around some of our bridges, not threatening the roadway, but I think it's still just a few hours of daylight, and I expect that we're still going to be finding more damage.
Now, Florida Power and Light is restoring power now to around 1,800 homes across the county. That is a much better number than the initial 4,300 feet of Indian River Drive was lost due to the storm. They are currently making repairs there and should have that completed sometime later this afternoon. MacArthur down by the beach, they're also working to make repairs there as well. Across the county, they are seeing some flooding damage to homes. The county is urging everyone to have documentation and making sure they have their insurance policies ready to go there as well. One of the most important things they talked about during the meeting today is that they're asking everyone also to watch out for any predatory contractors that we always see after storms like these that may try to take advantage of anyone who has any damaged homes. Businesses across the county, they are also being currently assessed. The county should have a better number on the ones damaged later today and also tomorrow as well. For now, we're in Martin County. Caleb Califano, WPBF 25 News.
Caleb, thank you. And the Martin County Sheriff's Office responded to several calls throughout the night. Crews responded to a car on fire inside a carport in Hobe Sound. They also posted pictures of some flooding. This is at the Monterey Inn, located on the east side of the Palm City Bridge. This inn is currently under construction. They say no injuries have been reported. And the Martin County Sheriff's Office still assessing damage left behind. They're finding minimal damage. These are some of the photos of Indian River Drive, where a portion of the road split and the sidewalk collapsed. In St. Lucie County, 2 people are safe after their boat got stuck on a deck during the storm. This happened at the west end of the North Hutchinson Island Bridge. Officials say hurricane-force winds forced the boat under the bridge and then into the open water of the Indian River Lagoon. 2 firefighters deployed in a rescue boat and carried the 2 ashore. Vero Beach officials are working to clean up the debris as quickly as possible, but there's a lot of damage from beach erosion at some parks. Suji Nam joining us now live from Vero with the latest. Suji?
Tiffany, I'm here at one of the more popular points where people can watch the beach right here. Behind me to my left, you can see a lot of people taking pictures, and here to my right, you can certainly feel the powerful winds and people just watching those waves crashing to where we are standing right now. We stopped by JC Park this morning and saw a lot of residents out and about taking pictures and videos of these damages. Now take a look at this video. It's one of the boardwalks to go down to the beach, just broken down in the sand. City officials were also out there blocking off the entrances to the beach access points to make sure people don't get hurt and so they can hopefully begin the restoration process. This morning, county leaders said they plan to open 2 beaches today, Round Island Beach and Treasure Shores Beach. Officials are continuing to assess the damages at other beaches before updating when they'll open the others in the county. Now, as for the 2 beaches that they do plan to open today, no specific timeline, but they did say they plan to open them later today. Reporting live in Vero Beach, I'm Suji Nam for WPBF 25 News.
Suji, thank you. And we're going to stay in Indian River County. Officials just gave an update hours ago on how people there were impacted by this storm. Josie Carbonari is there. And Josie, officials say the county came out mostly unscathed.
That's right, Tiffany. Indian River County officials, they say they really dodged a bullet with this storm. They've been out surveying damage as soon as the sun came up, but so far things aren't looking too bad. There are thousands of customers, though, here in this county out without power. But keep in mind, though, those numbers should start trickling down as FPL starts working on those restoration efforts throughout the day. We're told about 18 traffic signals did go out during the storm, but they are now down to about 9 that are either out or damaged. Residents are being asked to treat those traffic signals that are out as a 4-way stop. And as for the beaches suffering erosion, they anticipate opening Round Island and Treasure Shores beaches at some point today. No word on exact timing right now, though. As for the others, we're told they may take longer to reopen and are still being looked at. Officials also reporting the 17th Street Bridge going eastbound is still closed due to flooding.
It's going to remain that way for some time, but other than that, very minor damage, very happy overall. Thanks to everybody, all of our law enforcement partners really working well together. Thanks, guys.
And county leaders are asking folks to stay home if you can. There is still a lot of wind and some rain going around right now, so if you can stay home, they're asking that you do so until the storm completely passes. Reporting from Vero Beach, I'm Josie Carbonari, WPBF 25 News.
All right, Josie, thank you. And just a reminder that all schools in our area are closed today for Nicole, but we did learn Palm Beach County schools will be open tomorrow. Martin, St. Lucie, and Indian River counties are also off on Friday for Veterans Day. The Palm Beach County School District announcing that they are checking all campuses today to prepare for classes to start back up tomorrow.